Hello guys, this is Kunjan Shah. Welcome back to my channel Let's Talk. So 55's way of motivation is make trouble work for you. So here one evening many years ago, my then 14 years old daughter Stephanie went for a walk with a friend, promising me she would be back home before 10 p.m. I didn't pay much attention to the clock until the 10 o'clock news ended, and I realized that she hadn't come home yet. I started to get nervous and irritated. I began pacing the house, wondering what to do. At 11:30, I got in my car and started cruising the neighborhood looking for her. My thoughts were understandably anxious, part of fear and part of anger. Finally, at 11:45, I drove back past my own house and saw her silhouette, silhouette in the window. She was home and safe. मेरे से 14 ईयर ओल्ड डॉटर मेरी लड़की स्टेफनी वो अपने फ्रेंड के साथ वॉक पे गई थी और उसने प्रॉमिस किया था कि वो 10 बजे से पहले रात को 10 बजे से पहले होम आ जाएगी बट okay, then I didn't pay attention to clock until the 10 o'clock news ended. 10 बजे की जो न्यूज़ थी वो रात को एंड हुई तब तक मैंने ध्यान नहीं दिया था बट फिर पता चला कि अभी भी वो घर पे नहीं आई थी सो आई स्टार्टेड गेट नर्वस मैं नर्वस हो गई और इरिटेट हो गई एंड आई बिगेन टू पेसिंग दी होम मैं घर पे यहाँ वहाँ दौड़ने लगी एंड सोचने लगी कि अब क्या करूँ एंड रात को 11 साढ़े 11 बजे मैं अपने कार में बैठी और अपने जो नेबर है वहाँ पे उसको ढूंढने चली गई माई थॉट्स मेरे जो विचार थे वो अंडरस्टैंडेबली मीन्स हकीकत में चिंताजनक हो गए थे मुझे थोड़ा डर भी लग रहा था और मैं थोड़ा गुस्से भी हो गई थी एंड फाइनली जब मैं वापस आई आफ्टर 15 मिनट्स 11:45 एट माई होम सो मैंने उसका पर्चा देखा खिड़की के अंदर एंड आई थॉट एंड शी वाज एट होम वो घर पे ही थी और सेफ थी बट आई केप्ट ड्राइविंग I realized that I was thinking completely pessimistically about the entire incidents and I needed to keep thinking before I talked to her. As I drove along, I observed all the pessimism I was following. Like she doesn't respect me, she can't keep a promise. My rules and requests mean nothing. This is the tip of iceberg. I'm going to have a problems with her for next 4 years at least. Who knows where she went and what she was doing? Where drug involved or sex, crime? I'm losing sleep over this. This is ruining my peace of mind and my life, etc. बट मैंने ड्राइव करना चालू रखा एंड I realized that I was thinking completely pessimistically. I was thinking मैं निराशावादी ही मेरी सोच थी मैंने रियलाइज किया अबाउट दिस इंसिडेंट्स एंड आई थिंक आई नीडेड टू कीप थिंकिंग मुझे सोचना चाहिए बिफोर आई टॉक टू हर उससे मैं बात करूँ उससे पहले मुझे लगा कि मुझे तो कुछ सोचते रहना चाहिए and I drove along. I observed all pessimism I was following and मुझे जो भी ये निराशा वाले थॉट्स थे वो मैंने ऑब्जर्व किया जब मैं कार चलाता था लाइक वो मेरी रिस्पेक्ट नहीं कर रही है वो प्रॉमिस भी रख नहीं सकती है वो उसको मेरी रूल्स एंड रिक्वेस्ट का कोई पड़ी नहीं उसकी ये अब बहुत हो गया इट्स अ टिप ऑफ आइसबर्ग आई एम गोइंग टू हैव अ प्रॉब्लम्स विथ हर अब नेक्स्ट 4 ईयर तक मैं उस पर बात नहीं करूँगी या बोलूँगी नहीं वो कहाँ गई होगी वो क्या कर रही होगी वो ड्रग तो नहीं होगा सेक्स तो नहीं होगा या कुछ क्राइम तो नहीं किया होगा उसने मैं सोई दिस नाइट में सोई भी नहीं पाई और उसने मेरे लाइक मन की शांति छीन ली है लाइक दिस नेगेटिव थॉट्स में सोचती रही थी By recognizing how pessimistic my thoughts were, I was able to let the thoughts play completely out before taking a deep breath and telling myself, okay, that's one side of the argument. Now it's time to explore the other side. Like one of my favorite tricks of flipping my mind over to optimistic side is to ask myself a question, how can I use this? जैसे मुझे पता चला कि ये completely मैं नेगेटिव सोच रहा हूँ, तो मैंने एक लंबा सांस लिया, ऊंडा सांस लिया एंड मैंने अपने आप से कहा कि ओके दैट्स द वन साइड ऑफ द आर्गुमेंट, ये एक आर्गुमेंट की एक साइड थी, नाउ इट्स टाइम टू एक्सप्लोर द अदर साइड, अब मुझे पॉजिटिव बारे में कुछ सोचना चाहिए. One of my favorite tricks of flipping my mind over to optimistic side is to ask myself a question that how can I use this. ये जो सिचुएशन है, ठीक है, ये मे बी ये प्रॉब्लमेटिक सिचुएशन है, तो अब मैं उस सिचुएशन को मेरी बेनिफिट के लिए यूज कैसे करूँगा. So how could I use this incidents to improve my relationship with my daughter? How could I make my rules and request more meaningful to us? I began to build my case for optimism, and I realized that a great relationships are built by incidents like this. जो ग्रेट रिलेशंस होते हैं वो ऐसे ही इंसिडेंट से वो बिल्ट होते हैं. दे आर नॉट बिल्ट बाय द थियोरेटिकल कन्वर्जेशंस but by difficult experiences and what we learn and gain from them. बाय डिफिकल्ट एक्सपीरियंस, जो डिफिकल्ट एक्सपीरियंस होता है उससे हम सीखते हैं और कुछ रिलेशन बिल्ड होता है और उससे हम क्या सीखते हैं. सो आई डिसाइडेड टू ड्राइव अ लिटिल while longer and let her wait inside. मैंने फिर नक्की किया कि भाई अब मुझे थोड़ा ज़्यादा सोचना है, तो मैंने ड्राइव करना चालू रखा और उसको मैंने वेट करने के लिए छोड़ दिया घर के अंदर. I was sure that by now her sister had told her that I was out looking for her. So she was now the one pacing and anxious. So she was now the one pacing and anxious. So वो ऑलरेडी चिंता में होगी और वहाँ तहाँ भटकती होगी, मीन्स दौड़ती होगी, pacing. Let her sweat a little. Let her sweat a little, I thought, while I continued to think things through. I continued to reflect upon my past relationship with Stephanie. I continued to reflect upon my past relationship with Stephanie. One of the great aspects of it was Stephanie's honesty. One of the great aspects of it was Stephanie's honesty. She had always radiated a quiet and confident kind of serenity about her life. She had always radiated a quiet and confident kind of serenity about life. एक sincerity उसने radiate की थी. And found it easy to be honest with her own feelings and honest with her other people. Whenever there had been incident with other children, teachers or other parents involved in some misunderstanding, I could always count on Stephanie to tell me the truth. Asking her about what happened always saved me a lot of time. So I decided to drive a little while longer and let her wait inside. I was sure that by now her sister had told her that I was out for looking for her. So she was now the one pacing and anxious. Let her sweet a little, I thought while I continued to think things through. I continued to reflect upon my past relationship with Stephanie. One of the great aspects of it was Stephanie's honesty. She had always radiated a quiet and confident kind of serenity about life and found it easy to be honest with her own feelings and honest with her other people. And, and she found it easy to be honest with her own feelings and honest with other people. Whenever there had been incidents with other children, teachers, or other parents involved in some misunderstanding, I could always count on Stephanie's to tell me the truth. Asking her about what happens always saved me a lot of time. As I drove the dark neighborhood, I also ran through my happiest memories of Stephanie's as a little girl. How much I loved her and how proud I was of her when I went to her concert and talked to her teachers. I recalled the time in the grade school when I embarrassed her by asking her principal if he would consider renaming the school after her because she had just won an academic award of some kind and I was intoxicated with pride. In, intoxicated with pride. Finally, my mind was completely won over the optimistic side. How can I use this? Gave me the idea that this incident could be made into something bigger than it seemed. A new commitment to each other to keep agreement and trust each other. When I finally got home, I could see that she was scared. She tried to blame the incident on her not having a watch. She wanted me to appreciate that somehow she was a victim of the whole incident. I listened patiently and then I told her I thought it was a much bigger deal than that. I talked about my relationship with her and how I had cherished her truthfulness throughout her childhood. I told her that I thought we might have lost all of that tonight, that we might have to figure a way to start over. It's not that big a deal. It's not that big a deal. She protested, but I told her that I thought it was a very big deal because it was all about her relationships and whether we were going to keep agreements with each other because it was all about our relationship and whether we were going to keep agreement with each other. I told Stephanie I wanted her to be as happy as she could possibly be, and the only way I could really help that happen would be if we kept agreement with each other. I told her how scared I was, how angry I was, how her staying out had ruled out a good night's sleep for me. I asked her to try to understand. I talked about our life together when she was little girl and I demanded her how extraordinary truthful she was. I mentioned a few incidents when she got in trouble, but how I had gone right to her for the truth and always got it. We talked for a long time that night, and she finally saw that coming home when says she's coming home. Indeed, doing what she says she's going to do. It's really big deal. It's everything. Since that incident and conversation, Stephanie has been extremely sensitive and keep her word. If she goes out and promises to be back at a certain time, she takes along a watch or makes certain someone she's with has one. The incidents that night is something neither of us will forget because it got us clear on the idea of trust and agreement. You could even say that it was a good thing. We have heard of so many incidents where bad events in retrospect were stroke of great fortune. A person who broke her leg skiing met a doctor in the hospital, fell in love, married him, and had a happy relationship for life. Because most of us have experienced a number of this incident, we are aware about dynamic. What seemed bad, what seems bad, like a broken leg, turns out unexpectedly great. We begin to see the truth that every problem carries a gift inside. By choosing to make use of seemingly bad event, you can access that gift much sooner. By asking yourself, how can I use this? Or what might be a good about this? You can turn your life around on a dime.